Okay, so just one more learning from the Untethered Soul that was so good. This is what the purpose of this channel is. I want to share with you actively the moment I have a breakthrough, right? Like, I want to share it with you. And so I'm reading this chapter I just talked about in the last video called The Path of Unconditional Happiness in The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And he's talking about how the highest spiritual path is life itself. And in the end, you can just throw it all away and make one basic decision. Do you want to be happy or do you not want to be happy? And so I'm saying, I want to be happy. Like, I want to feel happy all the time, okay? He says most people don't dare give themselves that choice because they think it's not under their control. Some might say, well, of course I want to be happy, but my wife left me. And he says, in other words, they want to be happy, but not if their wife leaves them. But that wasn't the question. The question was very simply, do you want to be happy or not? If you keep it that simple, you'll see that it's really under your control. You just have preferences that get in the way. And then in a later paragraph, this is the part that made me want to talk to you guys. He says, after all, what the question really means is, do you want to be happy from this point forward for the rest of your life, regardless of what happens? How does that sound? It sounds good, right? And he says, now if you say yes, it might happen that your wife leaves you or your husband dies or the stock market crashes or your car breaks down on an open highway at night. Those things might happen between now and the end of your life. But if you want to walk the highest spiritual path, then when you answer yes to that simple question, you must really mean it. It's not a question of whether your happiness is under your control. Of course it's under your control. It's just that you don't really mean it. Any condition you create will limit your happiness. You have to give an unconditional answer. The reason I thought that was so cool is because I guess the stock market really has crashed lately, because we're in the middle of the COVID crisis. And so just thinking about that, right? Like, think about how many people out there, including me, are constantly challenging their own happiness by trying to feel bad for others, not just about my own money. I have enough money. I'm not too worried. But worrying about others, worrying about the stock market, worrying about stuff and saying, some people might say, oh, well, the stock market is crashing, so I can't be happy. But if you're in a good spot and the stock market crashing, you can still live day to day like I can. Then you're probably the stock market crashed and now it's a disaster and I just feel so bad for all these people and, I just need to feel unhappy so that I can show that I feel unhappy for them, right? And so that's kind of the second level of happiness is there's no point in that, guys. There's no point in being unhappy regardless of what happens. And really, if you're going to live a truly spiritual life, you have to agree to be happy literally no matter what. If your wife leaves you, if your husband dies, if the stock market crashes, if your car breaks down, whatever it is, you have to be unconditionally happy, right? And that doesn't mean you don't deal with life. You still deal with it, but you've got to be unconditionally happy. So I just thought that was cool because right now, when the stock market crashed, I'm like, oh no, should I be unhappy? But here it is in my Bible, the Untethered Soul telling me, hey, you got to stay happy no matter what. And just another piece of advice, right? This is from The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand that I made the course on. She says, if there's someone who demands, self-sacrifice from you, and there's probably someone taking the collections, but if there's someone who demands that you be happy and use your full potential and needs nothing from you, that's the person to listen to. So I think you might want to listen to me because I'm the person telling you to be happy, do what you want, no matter what. I got nothing to collect from you. I just want you to know that there's a better way to live life. Have a great day.